Let's say for this trick, I hand the deck over to the spectator and they give it a shuffle. After they're done shuffling the deck, they can take out any card they would like, and I would ask for them to go ahead and remember the card. So let's say this is your card right here. So go ahead and remember this for me. After they're done, I would take back the card and say that we're going to try something here, and we're going to see if you can find your card. But in order to do this, you need to answer a few questions for me. So the first question is your card on top? And they would say no. After this, I would ask them, is their card on the bottom? And I would assume they would say no also. After this, I would say, okay, in order to make this easier on yourself, how about you cut about half the deck over? So let's say they cut about this many. I would say, go ahead and touch a pile. So let's say they touch this one. So the spectator can hold on to these. After this, I would go ahead and up jog some cards and leave some cards as they are and say here. To make this easier, we're going to get rid of groups of cards. So go ahead and touch either A or B. Let's say they touch A. So we can put these right here. I would say, okay, let's try this again. They'll point to a pile. Let's say they point to B. Let's say, okay, let's go at this again. Touch another pile. Let's say they touch B, and I would say, okay, touch another pile, and let's say they go with B one last time. After this, we have two cards. Go ahead and just touch one, A or B. Let's say A. Now keep in mind, the deck was shuffled, you had any card, and you touched as many as you wanted. In this case, we have one card and one card only. And this, if I can hold on to it, is the 6 of spades. So, that is going to be the performance for the video, not the tutorial. But if you would like to see the tutorial, make sure you stick around for the tutorial. Okay, so before we get into the tutorial, actually, the deck I'm using, in case you're wondering, is the Twisted Artistry cards. And I actually won these from Ever So Slight. So I'm going to leave his channel down below and the deck review down below as well. But without further ado, let's get into this tutorial. So what you're going to do is you're going to have the deck shuffled and you're going to have a card controlled to the bottom. Now, you can do this any way you want, but I'm going to show you what I did real quick. So in this case, we have the King of Spades. All I did was a milk shuffle to control it second from the bottom. Now, you don't have to control it second from the bottom, but this is what I did. And because I already have a tutorial on the milk shuffle, I'm not going to teach it, but I will leave my video down below. But the main idea is you want the card on the bottom. But if you want to go the extra step, control it second from the bottom, any way you know how. If you control it second, then you can ask them, is their card on top? They say no, you put it in the middle. Is their card on the bottom? No. You turn over your hand and then you slide out the bottom card and put it in the middle. Because you don't want to flash their card, okay, is right here. And then you can follow up with false shuffles, false cuts, whatever you would like. After this, I have the deck cut about in half. It doesn't have to be. And then they're going to touch a pile. You know their card is going to be on the bottom. So pay attention to where they cut the top half. Because you're going to get rid of the top half. So when you say touch or point to a pile, they touch this top pile, hand this to them, and work with the bottom. If they touch the bottom, still hand these to them and say, we'll work with the bottom. Okay, so either way, make sure you work with the bottom. And then you're going to just do a reverse Pharaoh. So you want to remember if you put the first card up or down, okay? And I'm going to go over both ways just so you can see what happens. So let's say the first card you put up and down, and you go through like this. You want to remember where the bottom card ends up because you're going to do more Magician's Choice. So in this case, it ends up at the bottom. So you can have them point to another pile. They point to the top pile, get rid of it, and use the bottom. They point to the bottom pile, get rid of the top pile, and continue using the bottom. Okay, so either way, you're going to use the bottom. Or wherever their card is. I shouldn't say just the bottom. So if we do the first card down first, then the second card up, you're going to notice their selection goes to the top. So this time, if they point to the top pile, keep it, and if they point to the bottom pile, get rid of it, okay? And you're going to keep doing this until you have 2 cards, okay? Now, for me, it always worked with 2 cards. Maybe for you, it'll work different. But here's what you're going to do. You're going to have them point or touch to a card. If they touch the top card, get rid of it and show the bottom card. If they touch the bottom card, get rid of the top card and then still show the bottom card as their selection. So that is basically the trick. It's not very hard at all. I'm going to go over a few more ways you can do this just to give you a broader range. Depending on what your skill level is, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. So another way you can do this, let's work at the top first, and then we'll go right back to the bottom. The bottom, I think, might be a little difficult, but the top is basically like what I just showed you. So for this one, you're going to control a card to the top any way you know how. I went over plenty card controls on this channel, so I'm going to leave a video down below, but feel free to control it to the top any way you want. In the overhand shuffle video, I teach you my favorite control using the overhand shuffle, so you could even do that as well. But once you have a card on top, same procedure. Deck cut about in half, and you're going to do the same Magician's Choice. It doesn't matter which one they touch, because now, instead of the bottom packet, you're always going to do the top. So if they touch the top packet, keep it and get rid of the bottom one. If they touch the bottom packet, get rid of it and use the top one. So it doesn't matter. And now, same rules apply here. If you put the first card up, which is their selection, you're just going to want to keep the top packet. So if you say touch a pile, if they touch the top one, keep it and get rid of the bottom pile. If they touch the bottom pile, get rid of it and use the top one, okay? So let's say they touch the bottom one. So that was with the selection up. Let's say it's going to be the first one down. And then we go through here. Now it's going to be the bottom packet. And this is actually easier because your thumb is always going to be on that top card, which is their selection. I'll show you one little extra thing you can do at the right after this if you control their card to the top. So if they touch the top packet, get rid of it. They touch the bottom packet, keep it. And you're going to do this until you have 2 cards like this. Or if you do it different, or if it ends different with just 1 card, it'll be theirs. But in this case, you can actually have them touch a card. If they touch the top one, get rid of the bottom card and show them that the top card is theirs. If they touch the bottom card, get rid of it and show them the top card is theirs. So either way you do this, you're going to have the top card as theirs. Now, something you can do extra, if you control the card to the top, is this. You can show them the bottom freely and ask, is this your card? They will say no. Then you're going to do a double lift and ask them, is this their card? And they're going to say no. Turn over the double, cut the deck in half, and then proceed with the trick. That's just a nice little touch I would add on it if you have hecklers or something. But of course, you don't have to do that. And I also have a few tutorials on double lifts as well. So I'm going to leave them down below also in case you want to check that out. And here is the last way to the bottom you can do this. So you're going to have a card control to the bottom, deck cut in half, and you're going to force this bottom half. Now, you're going to do it just like this. And what you're going to do, there's two ways you can do this. Here's how I might do this. When I come to the bottom card, I'm going to create some misdirection, look them in the eye, and then load this right in the middle of the packet. And then I'm going to hold the packet like this, but use my pinky to catch a break above it. So I can pull down on that card and actually catch a break. And I have a video on the pinky count as well. In case you want to check that out, I will link it down below. But now here's what you're going to do. You're going to ask them if they want the top or bottom packet. It doesn't matter. If they say the top packet, you're going to come over in this grip. So your middle ring pinky on one side, thumb on the other, index curled on top. Still holding the pinky break, you're going to move this hand with the pinky break up to the top packet. So keep your index finger here, keeping the card still. And then pull out the bottom packet, then throw those on top. And then, let's say they want the bottom packet. You're going to have it in the middle still, keeping that break. You're just going to slide out the top cards and throw those down. And you can continue doing that all the way until you have one card or until you have that Magician's Choice. And then you can reveal their King of Spades. So, here is one more way you can do this, and then I'll teach you a nice little trick you can actually do using this move. So this is actually called Bluff Oracle by Simon Aaronson. And what you're going to need is a card 16th from the top. So let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. In this case, the 10 of spades. You're going to leave that there. And then the rest of it on top. So this is basically the force. And then you're going to have the deck cut about in half. And you're going to do the same thing. So the first card goes up. The second one goes down. And when you go through with this like this, you're going to have to remember that the card is on the bottom. And then we go through this again. So same thing. The card is on the bottom. Same thing. Like this. And then just like this, you get rid of the two top cards like that. And the card is right there. Or the top and bottom card, because there's going to be three. So that is if you control the card 16th from the top. You're always going to do it like this. Okay, so every even card is going to be here. And then the 16th card will be theirs. But here's another way you can actually do it. So you're going to have a card on top. Let's say 10 of spades. Control it any way you know how. Deal that first card. And then they can say stop at about half the deck. Or really wherever they would want. Once you have some cards down. And then you're going to do the same procedure I taught you before. Instead, this time, you want to remember where this card ends. So you can always get rid of the right packet. And then you're going to end with the 10 of spades. So hopefully that all makes sense. But let me show you the really nice trick you can do with this move. So this is actually going to use 5 cards. So whether you have 4 of a kind and then 1 selection, or a royal flush, whatever you would like. So let's say we have the 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace, and Spades. You're going to have these 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. So we know we have 10 as 1, Jack as 2, 3, 4, Queen as 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 as the King, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then Ace as 16, and the rest on top. So now all you're going to do is the deck cut about in half. Okay, so let's say we cut it about in half. Make sure we're good here. We are perfect. And then you're going to do the first card up, and you're going to continue like this. But this time, instead of putting the packet back on top of the deck, you're going to leave it in its own pile. And then you repeat this procedure again. You do it like this. You come again with that first card out jogged, and you can keep doing this. Get rid of the top card. This is going to be the ace, and then these are going to be the king, queen, jack, and 10, just like that. See if I can get this as the thumbnail here. This is pretty nice, actually. But this was the trick in the whole video. I hope you really enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what else you would like to see on the channel. That's it, and I will see you guys next time for a new video. Bye.